A poor woman told to play a broken piano as a joke, then her talent shocks the room. The banquet hall shimmered with gold trim and artificial laughter. It was the annual charity gala hosted by one of the city's elite prep schools, where tuxedos were pressed to perfection, and silver spoons clinked in glasses held by people who'd never truly been hungry. Among the glimmering crowd stood Marla Jennings, 41 years old, her hands calloused from years of cleaning homes that weren't hers. Her dress, a faded lilac number bought second-hand and stitched with hope, hung loosely from her frame. She hadn't come to eat. She hadn't even been invited. She was there to clean. "Miss, careful not to smudge the glass," barked the event coordinator as Marla polished yet another champagne flute. Marla nodded, keeping her eyes low. She had learned that silence, in rooms like these, was a kind of armor. In the corner of the grand hall sat a long-forgotten piano. A dusty relic shoved between ornate drapes and a column of fake ivy. One key dangled loose, another refused to press down. It was more decoration than instrument. "Hey," one of the teenage boys in a velvet blazer nudged his friend, pointing at Marla. "Think she can play it?" The other boy laughed. "She's a maid, not Mozart." A third chimed in, louder this time, "Hey, cleaning lady. Why don't you give us a show? Play something fancy." Heads turned. A few adults chuckled, mistaking cruelty for comedy. Marla froze, polish rag still in hand. She could have said no. Should have. But something stirred in her. Because once, long ago, in a life filled with lullabies and candlelight dinners, she had played. Not for crowds, not for money. Just for her daughter, Eliza. On a second-hand piano in their tiny apartment, where the heater groaned louder than the keys. Eliza had loved Chopin. But Eliza was gone now, taken too soon by a heart defect that insurance wouldn't cover. The music had died with her. Until now. Marla walked toward the piano. Whispers flickered like candle flames. Some guests smirked, others looked uncomfortable. She sat down gently, like someone greeting an old friend after years apart. Her fingers hovered above the keys. She pressed one. It croaked. Another. Still off. And then she began to play, not around the broken keys, but with them, weaving their dissonance into a melody so haunting it seemed the piano itself was crying. A hush fell over the room. Every eye locked on her. Notes floated like memories, fragile, honest, aching. She closed her eyes, and the room blurred away. There was no gold trim, no expensive wine. Just her and a cracked piano, mourning and remembering. She played a piece she once composed for Eliza, the one she never finished, never dared to share. Tonight, it found its voice. By the time she struck the final note, the room was breathless. Someone clapped. Then another. And soon the hall roared with applause that made Marla flinch, like waking from a dream. Tears shimmered in eyes that had never known her name. People rose from their seats, clapping for a woman they had moments ago mocked or ignored. But one person didn't clap. He stepped forward. "Ms. Jennings." The man was tall, mid-60s, with a stern face softened by something like awe. "Yes," she said, rising slowly. "I'm Andrew Wallace. I run the conservatory downtown." Marla blinked. "I lost my wife last year," he said, his voice catching. "She was a pianist. The piece you just played, it reached something I thought was gone forever." She didn't know what to say. "Would you come tomorrow?" he asked. "To the conservatory? I'd like to offer you a residency. We offer training, housing, and, frankly, we'd be honored to learn from you." Marla's lip trembled. "But I'm just a cleaner." "No," he said. "You're a musician. A rare one." Months later, room 12 of the conservatory, once used for storage, had been transformed into a studio. Inside, a refurbished grand piano gleamed beneath soft lighting. Marla sat beside a group of children, showing them how to turn broken notes into beauty. One of them raised a hand. "Ms. Marla, what if the piano's broken?" She smiled, gently placing her hand over the boy's. "Then we make music anyway. Sometimes the most beautiful songs come from the cracks." Outside the room, parents watched through glass windows, smiling. A woman in a red scarf dabbed her eyes, watching her shy daughter laugh for the first time in weeks. From housekeeper to mentor. From silence to symphony. Marla had learned that no instrument is too broken to sing again. And neither is a soul. No matter how cracked the keys or how faded the dreams, every soul holds music. Sometimes, all it takes is for someone to listen, to truly see, and a forgotten melody can rise again to change the world.